Yo, what up? What up? I see people watching, man. I see we got a lot of viewers right now. What's going on for those of y'all, all of y'all who don't know who I am? I am Big Brandon Carter, BBC. Somebody asked me the other day. They were like, "Yo, no." Somebody wrote on Facebook on something. Yo, stop calling yourself Big Brandon Carter. You're not even that big. I'm like, yo, it's not. Big doesn't pertain to my muscle, you know. That's not how it works. But anyway, man, before we get into this livecast, you know, I like to always start with a few words of wisdom. I like to drop a jewel or two on you. So today I want to talk about something that was real important. It's a concept that it came to me that I came across when I was early teens, and it's about what the fuck. Oh shit, sorry. No, I don't know what's happening.
To make lots of money so we can afford the deluxe kitty playtime palace and this.
Fucking up my train of thought. Alright. We good money now.
Lower fees, better rates, more savings. Affinity Federal Credit.
This shit still happening?
All the services of a bank without the bank.
Damn, man, I'm fucking up. I'm doing this shit all wrong, bro.
Yo,
I had this shit on in the background. I'm listening to my podcast while I'm podcasting. I mean, all right, fuck. I fucked up my whole train of thought, bro. In any event, here we go. Yeah, man, you want to be able to control your emotions. That's what I wanted to talk about. See how shit just went wrong? This is a perfect example. Shit just went totally wrong. I didn't panic, found a way to make it go right, and now we're here. You got to learn how to control your emotions. Outside events or people should never be able to control your emotional state. You know, you should have enough mental strength that your emotions are independent of everything that's going on around you. Your circumstances. You're independent of your circumstances and independent of other people's emotions. Like, other people shouldn't be able to affect your emotions. I see, like, in the comments, somebody will say, or comments on my own videos, somebody will say something like, "This is bullshit," you know, and then somebody else will say, comment to that person, "Fuck you, you don't know what you're talking about." And it was like, "Well, fuck you, asshole, blah, blah." And then these people are arguing with each other. These people are arguing with people they don't know about shit that doesn't matter. It's like, you don't want to, if a YouTube comment should not have the capability of controlling your emotional state, right? That's a sure sign of weakness. When you see people getting, it's like anytime you see anybody getting angry or spazzing out or even being sad, all that means is that life hasn't conformed to their preferences. It's just preference. Nobody says that people have to agree with you. Nobody says that you have to have food, like you prefer food, but you might get sad if you don't. You still have to maintain the right mental attitude about all circumstances. No matter how bad things are going, you need to be in control of your emotions. Do not let the outside world control your emotions. Otherwise, you're like a ship in the ocean. You're like a sailboat in the ocean with no sail. You're just going wherever the seas take you. But if you put your sail up, now you're in control. Now you can make decisions, you know, and that's, like, you should never spaz out, ever. You should never spaz out. You should never lose control of your emotional state. That's what deers do. Like, a deer might panic, and then he'll run into the fucking, he might panic when he's scared, and then run into the fucking street and get hit by a car, right? Because he doesn't have his brain hasn't developed the neocortex, right? So he's not able to make decisions about what would be optimal for him, you know? So he just panics and runs out. You don't want to be like that. You're a human being. You're able to think. So whenever circumstances arise that you want to panic or you want to spaz out, stay calm. You need to be able to control that shit. You know, like, whatever's going on, you have to. A sure sign of immaturity is panic, right? It's just it's panic, it's immaturity or lack of confidence, right? I don't know what to do, right? Like, I was once I got in a car accident. I was driving, saying I had my badass chick in the passenger seat. A car runs up, like, he's not paying attention. He's like, runs into our lane. She screams, panics, and I'm like, I see the shit and I move. I'm in evasive action, right? But then there's another car here, and I move here, and I turn again. I stay calm in the motherfucker. I never panic. She's screaming. The car does a fucking 360 on the goddamn LIE, but I'm fucking I didn't panic at all. I kept this fucking face on. Boom, I got back on, and we was good. You know, we did a 360, we was good. You know, that was because I stayed calm. Had I panicked, who knows what would have happened, you know? You just got to stay calm. That's always control your emotions. A good way to do that, and there's ways to control your emotions. I don't want to go on with this too long, but there's ways to control your emotions. One, you want to start a meditative practice. I meditate about twice a day. Zen meditation, you know, you focus on your breath, trying to control, not let your mind wander, just trying to focus on your breath. Every time it wanders, bring it back to center. I do that every morning and every night, and it really helps you control your mind. It helps you control your mind better. That's the whole point of it, right? And another way to accomplish this, just ask yourself, whatever's happening, am I going to die from this shit? If the answer is no, then it's probably not worth spazzing out about. Right? If somebody calls you an idiot on YouTube, or even somebody yells at you in the street, are you gonna die over that shit? No, then it's probably not worth spazzing out about. Spazzing out, I can't think of any circumstances where spazzing out is the most beneficial course of action. I can't think of any circumstances where that happens. Always stay level-headed. Those are the ways to do it. If this works, ask yourself, am I gonna die over this shit? If it's not, just stay calm. You know what I'm saying? Anyway. Oh, even if you are going to die of this shit, right? Being alive is just a preference. It's just a preference. Who says you have to live? Right? If you are going to die, spazzing out going to help? I don't know. I would argue no. I don't think there's any circumstance where spazzing out helps. Like somebody might be like, oh, Brandon, you've got into fights before. You beat people's ass. It wasn't a spaz out. I pistol whipped motherfuckers. It wasn't me spazzing out, but I wanted to convey to that person that compliance to my desires was necessary to ensure their safety. It was all calculated. I didn't just spaz out and attack the motherfucker. I had to. They needed to understand the severity of the issue, and it was tactical. But anyway, enough about that shit. I was rambling. Let's get into the. Sorry about how it started off. You know, every live cast I do start off with me trying to figure out how to work this technology. Anyway, let's get into it. Oh, somebody, I saw a comment right before we started. This guy was like, hey, oh, Brody's Fitness Life. Brody's Fitness Life. Like, yo, check out my channel. I want you to know I want, you know, blah, blah, blah. People leave shit like that on my YouTube all the time. That's not how you build an audience. The only way to build an audience and to get your channel popping on YouTube. I mean, I wish you the best of luck. I'm not trying to tell you not to do it. I'm just saying not do it. Don't do that because it's not. I want you not to do that because it's ineffective. Right? The best way to build a channel is to consistently put out content that people like. That's the only way. There's no tricks. All right, man. What up? What up? What up? Yo, I'm looking for questions. It's just all what's up. But yo, what's up to everybody, you know? What's up to you guys too, man? What up? Can you get tips on how to do a muscle up? Yeah, we've been doing I've been training. I taught a lot of people to do muscle ups this summer at a boot camps. After the boot camp that I've been doing on Saturdays, I've been posting footage from. After that, we had me and Team Incredibles. We do the calisthenics training. And a good way to help you accomplish a muscle up is get a nice forward swing, right? At first, kind of like you want to put your chest out and then in, right? So your body goes forward. So you want to get like kind of like some shit like think your chest going out, like some shit Usher used to that dang Usher or something. You want to get your chest out, bam, then come back, and that momentum is going to help you swing, right? And then you come back, and at the same time, push your knees in your chest. And then on the way back, kick it out. Just kick out. Like you're trying to kick the shit out of somebody and then go to the top. It's going to take a lot of practice to get that technique. And that's what's called a kipping muscle. That's not perfect form. Perfect form is people who can just, from a dead hang, come up and do it, you know, do a muscle up. You're not going to be, nobody's born able to do that. You're not going to be able to do that the first day, man. Nobody's born with just a fucking that strong. Are you going to bring out any more abdominal assault? Yeah, I put out an abdominal assault video last week. And I've also had 4 more that are being edited by by the director. So they should be out pretty soon. Has anyone done German volume training? If so, what are your thoughts for muscle mass? All right. I've heard a lot of myths about German volume training. People saying it's the best way to acquire muscle mass, and I don't know. Every time I've tried it, it almost makes me too sore. So maybe I haven't been able to stick with it, man. I just get so sore from doing it, and that's been the case with everyone I've talked to about the issue. So I haven't stuck with it for a long enough time to give an appropriate response to that. You know, I can't make a fair assessment, but it works for my calves. And only because my calves don't get so sore. For whatever reason, my calves don't get so sore that I can't do it. So I definitely do 10 sets of 10. Anybody who wants to know German volume training is basically 10 sets of 10, 90-second rest in between each. You know, a minute to 90-second rest between each. 10 sets of 10 exercises. So you're doing 100 reps, and that works for my calves. But I haven't found it successful with any other body part. But then again, I haven't tried it for a long time. My man says death is not the end. I can't confirm or deny that. Well, I know spazzing out about death doesn't help. Carter, his name's Carter too, without doubt. Yo, BBC, should I work out during my cheat days? It doesn't matter. What do you think about no fat? You know, basically somebody's asking that. Nam Dai, I'm sure I'm pronouncing that correctly, but you want to know about basically no fat, not jagging off, you know, not beating off. I try to beat off as infrequently as possible, but and it's easier for me, right? Because I live with the baddest chick on the planet Earth. You know. We're co-inhabitants of this dwelling, so it's pretty easy for me. But then sometimes, you know, like life gets in the way. We don't get to have sex every day. If we're having sex every day, then I'm probably not beating off. But if we go through like a stretch, you know, like it's, you know, whatever, menstrual cycles, or you know, she's very busy, you know, I get busy, and we just don't get to have sex as much as we want. I find if I don't beat off during that period, it's actually harder for me to control my emotions. That's what I noticed. I noticed that it's what we talked about earlier. I noticed that things seem to be a bigger deal to me. You know, I don't know. That's weird. You know, because like sometimes you ever been like with a chick and you've been like in love. You feel like you're in love with her, right? You actually feel like you're literally in love with that chick. And then you have sex and then you bust a nut. After you ejaculate, it's like it's like waking up from a fucking dream. That's what it's like, man. That's what it's like. So like when you're not, so for me, I find if I go too many days in a row without ejaculating, I feel like I'm in just a dream world. I honestly feel like I see the world differently, and everything is just more intense. I wouldn't say it's hard to control my emotions, but everything is just intensified. Everything is heightened, and not necessarily in a good way, you know, for me. So I don't know. If I go 2 or 3 days without having sex, I'm probably gonna either beat off or go on a murder spree. I don't know. One of the two. Do you get hit on a lot by gay men? Not really. No, that doesn't really happen. Even like if I go into, you know, a lot of gyms, a lot of gay guys in most gyms, and that's cool. I don't think anything about me comes off homosexual. You know what I'm saying? So like, I have gay friends, right? And they like, I never had to say, hey, just so you know, just so you guys know, I'm straight. I don't swing that way. I don't never have to say shit like that. You know, like I have, you know, I live in New York, man. You know, I used to work in the fashion industry. You know what I'm saying? So like, surrounded by gay guys, right? And I've never really been hit on at all. Like I think, you know, I don't come off that way, you know. And not to say, and there's nothing wrong with being homosexual, you know. I think I always find that I always find homophobia like just the weirdest thing in the world. Like why do people care who another person is having sex with? I don't give a fuck about who another motherfucker's having sex with. For real, man. Like if that person's having sex with men, women, frogs, I don't give a fuck, right? It's inconsequential to me, you know. So I think a lot of homophobia comes from like insecurities, you know, like people. You're obviously born with it, right? You got to be born with it because if you're 100% straight, then you know there's no way you're gonna wake up and want some balls. You can't teach wanting balls. You can't teach it, and you can't learn it. That is innate. So like I don't know, man. Like so when people who have a fear of homosexuals or like think that it's like oh they choose to be this way. If you think they choose to be this way, maybe you think that because it's a choice for you. So like I don't know. I just don't understand homophobia in that regard. But anyway, yeah, man. Nah, it's not. To answer your question, I don't really get hit on by gay men. If I did, I'd just be like, oh, I'm flattered, but you know, I'm not on that shit, you know. But good luck to you. Good luck to you. Good luck to you and your homosexual endeavors. You know, it's all good. What do you think about soccer? I don't think about soccer too often. You know, like I just don't. You know. But you know, people love it all over the world. Maybe I'm just wrong. You know, maybe I'm wrong. But sometimes you know when you know maybe George is trying to get in. Hold up. Hey, come on. This guy is a fucking spaz. If you want to talk about like not being able to control your emotions, this is an example. Let's see if we got some more questions. Yes. Religious people have a reason to be homophobic. I'm not gonna get into religion, you know. I'm not gonna get into religion. If you want to know, I'm not. I don't prescribe to any religious dogmas. You know, I'm not an atheist either. Because atheists believe that there's no God. I just don't know. You know, and it takes a lot of courage to believe. To just see, a lot of people just want to believe something because the unknown is scary. You know, the unknown is scary. So people want a dogma. They want something to believe in, right? It takes a lot of courage to be like, yo, I don't know, and I'm okay with that. George, what's up? Say what's up. Hey, buddy. George is in the house. George is in the building. Do I drink alcohol? Rarely. I just don't drink that much alcohol. I just don't like it as much as I did when I was in my 20s. Cardio after leg day? Yeah, if you can. If your legs hurt too much, then maybe try like hitting the heavy bag, boxing, shadow boxing, some cardio that involves your arms. You know, I have a video on hit cardio with boxing hit cardio with the heavy bag. I have a video on how I do it sometimes. I had to do that when I dropped the iron on my foot, which rendered my I dropped the iron on my toe, which rendered my foot useless. So I was just doing cardio like that. When has your attitude towards discipline and hard work coming from? Have you always been like that, or there's certain events in your life that made you like that? Greetings from Denmark. What up, Denmark? What up, Denmark? Nah, man, that's something that's learned. No, that's not intuitive. That's not something that's innate, right? Because the human brain is not structured like that. Like George, he's a fucking spaz, all right? He has no discipline. He panics. He's not really in control, you know? He's part of your brain called the brain stem. You know, it's called the lower brain or the reptilian brain. It controls like impulses, and it controls like it's the reason you don't have to think about breathing, or you don't have to beat your own heart. You don't have to think about beating your heart. It controls like a lot of these involuntary functions for you. Now, human beings, we've developed a part of the brain called the neocortex, which is evolved. It's the reason why we can, solve math problems and make up languages and basically think, use logic, right? Some other higher primates have that, but they haven't developed it to the same extent. Like monkeys have it, but they still shit in their fucking hand, right? We, as human beings, you have the capability of using your neocortex to accomplish things, but the limbic system, the brainstem, is always going to be first and foremost. You have to control that. You have to just. I've done a lot of reading on the subject of discipline, and I think that's helped. That's helped me a lot, But your brain your brain doesn't want you to be successful. All it cares about is your survival. Your brain does not want you to be successful. You start working out and it hurts. Your nervous system sends signals up your spinal cord to your brainstem, and it says, "Yo, this hurts," and your brain, and you want to quit. It makes you want to quit because your brain is just thinking about survival. It's not thinking about you thriving. It's not thinking about you being success. You have to say, "Hey, fuck you, brain. Go fuck yourself. I'm going to lift this weight, or I'm going to keep running. I don't care if it hurts. I'm going to keep running," and then you get stronger from that. Right? Your brain uses about 20% of the glycogen in your body, which is a crazy amount for such a small organ. You would think like your heart or something, or your respiratory system uses more glycogen, but your brain, it just uses so much, at least 20%, maybe more, right? So when you're dieting, your glycogen levels drop, and that's why your muscles feel flat when you're dieting, because you're losing glycogen, right? And your brain starts craving sweet things like sugar, right? Because your brain wants the glycogen. It just wants to survive. It doesn't care about you being successful. It doesn't care about your fucking goals. All it cares about is survival. And you have to say, "Hey, fuck you, brain. I know you want glycogen, but I'm in charge, not you." Basically, you just got to train yourself to become more disciplined. There was no events in my life that really, maybe my father shooting himself in the fucking head, that probably, I'm sure that impacted me a number of ways, but I think I was a pretty focused motherfucker prior to that event. I think, and it comes from honestly, it comes from reading. Like a lot, like I read a lot of books. I read at least one book a week, but maybe two. I recently took a speed reading course, and I've gotten my reading speed up to almost 400 words per minute. So like I'm doing like 2-3 books a week now. So anyway, a lot of reading. A good place to start. Awakening the Giant Within, and Tony Robbins. That was the book that really catapulted me into that direction. Oh, you asked that question a number of times. Let me go ahead and refresh the page and see if anything else is going on. I want to lose weight. Get ripped. What's the best way to start? Thomas, look, Thomas, the best way to start. I'm not bullshitting you. I'm not trying to fucking sell a book. The ebook in the description. You know what I'm saying? My Ultimate Cut: 7 Secrets How to Burn Fat Fast as Hell. It's if you look at the reviews, people are feeling that shit, man. Over 300 reviews, and I want to appreciate. And I want to say thank you to everybody who read it and left a review. I really appreciate that shit from the bottom of my heart. Writing a book's not easy, man. I'm writing another book right now. Hopefully it'll be out soon. I'll send it to the editor soon, another ebook. But yeah, man, that's the best place to start, man. I consolidated all the information I thought was best, and I made it into a quick read with no fluff. Not a lot of jargon. I made it easy. I mean, that's really the best way to start, is to educate yourself, Like, I wish I could just give you an easy answer. That's the best way to start, man. And if you're not going to read the book, I would just sum up everything in the book, and you have to burn more calories than you have to burn more calories than you consume in order to burn fat. Get ripped. Do you recommend a Nike Fuel Band? Hell no. It's a cool watch. That's what it's basically. It's just a cool watch. I look at the time and people are like, "Hey man, it's a fucking cool watch." I'm like, "It's a Nike watch," but really I don't like it. I don't like it because it's basically a pedometer. It says it measures how much calories you burn a day. That's bullshit. It's just a pedometer. If I'm doing a pull-up, it thinks I'm standing still. Or if I do a muscle-up, it thinks I just did this. You know what I'm saying? Or if I'm playing the guitar or beating off, it thinks I'm running a marathon. So like, it's notoriously inaccurate. It's basically just a cool watch. Brandon, what's best for building biceps, heavyweight or high volume? Uh, weight that you can handle between 6 and 8, maybe 4. This is anybody part, right? Between 6, except for maybe calves. Reps. This is what works to me though. It might be different for you, right? We all respond a little differently to stimuli, so keep that in mind. What works best for me, and a lot of people are trained, reps between 6 and 8. 90 seconds between each rep, and yeah, 4 sets. Not 90 seconds between each rep, 90 seconds between each set. And yeah, man, like how heavy it should be like, 9 should not be possible. It should be between 6 and 8. If you can do 9, it's not heavy enough. If you can't do 6, it's too heavy. Yo, I'm going to the military. I'm at 30 push-ups in a row, 10 dead hang pull-ups. I need to be able to do hundreds and 20 to 30 pull-ups. Thanks, bro. I mean, that's the kind of thing, man, especially with calisthenics, how to do more, man. You do more by doing more, right? I don't know if I have a protocol for that, because that's not necessarily a goal that I've ever tried to accomplish. I appreciate your service, though. I'm glad you're going into the military. Kyle. Now he wants to go, man. This guy can't make a fucking decision. You gotta stay. You can't interrupt me to hold this. People are watching this. Be decisive. Make a decision. Sorry, Kyle. That's not a goal I've ever tried to accomplish, but I just know from like my experience with calisthenics, like just trying to do many more muscle ups. Yo, I just do them every day, man. I just do them every day. Body weight stuff. I believe you can do body weight stuff every day, right? People I know who've done gymnastics, like in a high level, like professional gymnasts, they do full body weight workouts every day. They're some of the biggest, most ripped guys you ever meet, and they never touch weights. So I mean, I think that would help. Like you don't want to get bigger, because you're talking about with body weight stuff. You don't want to get heavier. So if I was you, I would actually stay away from the weights, because you don't want to actually gain size. Because if you want to be able to do 20 push-ups, but the more pounds you gain, the more difficult that's going to be. What's next? Yo, homie, I can lift heavy on a lat pull down, but I can do about 1 pull up overhand. Any tips on do pull ups at home? Yeah, man. Like if you don't do one, do one. Do fucking 15 sets of 1, right? Rest as long as you need to in between each, and yeah, just do one. Like basically what I said to Kyle, man. Just do them. If you can only do one, do one. You'll get that back up. I remember I could only do 1 handstand push up, like freestanding without the wall. I did 10 the other day, man. Like I just knocked them out. You'll get there, bro. I remember I can only do 1 muscle up in a row. Now I don't know. I can do it a ton. You'll get there. It's just gonna take time. And the lat pull down is not the same thing as a pull up. It's not even close. That's like calling Taco Bell Mexican food. The machines are not the same as free weights, because machines are not the same as free weights, because you have to balance with free weights, or like body weight. You have to balance. You have to use those stabilizer muscles. You don't have to do that with machines. So like with any machine, you can lift way more on a machine than you can in real life, because the machine is just not real life. It's just not real life. Do I warm up with lighter weights between the set? Yeah, but I usually do like 1 or 2, like with a lightweight, not going to failure, and I'm only trying to do like usually about 10, something real light, 1 or 2 sets of those, just to get the muscles ready. Yeah, definitely could. What's the green drink I'm drinking? This is I have a video on how to make green tea, the mint green tea. This is just that. You know, nothing exotic. No, you're staying here. You have to be decisive. Make a decision, you gotta live with it. That's how life works, George. I'm trying to teach this kid about life. Are there any benefits to fastest cardio? Oh yeah, increase fat loss. I do yeah man, like if I'm like trying to lose weight, I'll do cardio fasted, you know, for sure. I will probably take like 10 grams of BCAAs, branched chain amino acids, prior to it to prevent muscle breakdown. But yeah, man, do that shit fasted. What about a protein snack? I don't know what that question is. I mean, that's vague. I'm not quite sure what you're asking. Protein snack? I mean, sure, yeah. Protein. You can eat a protein bar. Um, yeah. I don't really know what the question was. George, you gotta take it easy. What would you do if all you wanted to do was maintain your physique at the moment? I've never done a maintenance stage. People ask me about that sometimes. I've never done anything maintenance related. Like as far as like, oh, I'm happy where I'm at. I'm content, and there's no room for improvement. I don't believe in that. I just don't believe. I don't believe in that whole concept. I think you should always be trying to make improvements somehow. Like you can always gain, you can always cut, you can always make improvements. I think you should always be moving forward. We're only here for a little amount of time, man. Stagnation is not an option. All right. The constant improvement should be the cornerstone of every human being's time on earth. Constant improvement. So if I just want to maintenance, I don't even think that's possible. I don't think maintenance is a real thing. I don't think it's a real thing. You're either fucking, even if you die, you're gonna go through changes. You know, at a cellular level, your things are gonna break down. You're gonna turn into fucking dirt, worm food. Nothing stays the same. Nothing. There's no such thing. I don't think it exists. Nothing stays the same. There's no such thing. Get that shit off your mind. We gotta need to refresh this page. Don't look at me like that. Don't look at me like that, George. I'm busy right now. I'm at work. I'm talking to a few hundred children right now. How do you change your macros on cutting throughout the cut? I mean, if I'm cutting, man, really, like I keep it real simple. I keep it real simple. It's not a macro thing. It's really just all I do is eat green vegetables and meat. You know, green leafy vegetables and meat, and I eat carbohydrates only after resistance training. Excuse me. And I found that to be pretty effective. Like I don't really have to count shit. I get a lot of protein, and yeah, man, I don't do it for a long period of time, maybe just a few weeks, and it gets me cut as fuck. How do you feel about collaborating with music on one of your subs? You know, music is just a hobby for me right now. You know, like I'm trying to take this shit more seriously. You know, like fitness. I mean, I take it pretty seriously, but like it's the forefront. You know, music is just a hobby. Like I don't know. I mean, I don't want to like sell you a dream. Like, yeah, we're gonna make some music together because I'm probably not. Like, and it's not. And that has nothing against you. It really just has nothing to do with you. It's just really like I have more. Like this is not consistent with my goals at the moment. But if that ever changes, you know, I'll let you know. But right now, it's just not what I'm on. Have you been injured and have you lost motivation? Yeah. Listen, if you're not getting hurt, like people are always like so. I've been injured. Like I said this before, man. I dropped a fucking iron on my toe, rendered my foot useless. I couldn't run. I could barely walk good. You know, like yeah, I've been injured all the time, man. I'm injured right now. Look, last summer I strained my King George. King George has left the building, everyone. I sprained my bicep and I couldn't like do any like pull motions. I have a herniated disc. I thought I could squat. I was 19. I thought I could squat with 4 plates on each side. You know, as a kid, dumbass kid. And then this is still fucked up. You know, I also have a pinched nerve in like one of my traps. I'm riddled with injuries. I always have some kind of injury. You know, like because I go fucking hard, son. And I just feel like this in life. If you're not constantly failing, if you're not constantly getting hurt, if you're not embarrassing yourself, if you're not bleeding, then you're not going hard enough. You're just not going hard enough. So it's going to happen. It's a part of life. It's to be expected. Like everybody I know who's done anything in fitness at a high level, like like pro bodybuilders, power lifters, people who won street workout championships, pro gymnasts. I have a friend who won a bronze medal in the Beijing Games. They've all had serious injuries. It's just a part of it. There's no way to circumvent that. It's going to happen. So like, just make peace with that. Know it's going to happen, and it's a beautiful thing though. It's beautiful. Like I hurt my foot earlier this summer again. Not the foot I dropped. The same foot I dropped the fucking iron on. I was doing handstands on this tall ass thing. I kind of slipped and I landed funny on my foot, and I thought I broke it. I had to get an X-ray, but I didn't. But like that pain, the pain. I took a healthy foot for granted prior to that injury, right? But now I appreciate a healthy foot as where it's something I just took for granted prior to that. Like that's the beauty of like bad things happen and they help you appreciate when good things. You know, we appreciate summer because of winter. You know, we appreciate sunny days because of bad days, of rainy days. We appreciate sweet because of sour. You know, that whole shit. Can you start making full day eating videos? Yeah, I have one up right now, and I have 2 that I filmed that I just haven't edited yet. You know, editing these videos is not the fucking easiest shit in the world. Should I replace pre-workout with supplements with green tea extract? Well, you know, full disclosure, I'm sponsored by T-Rex Fat Burner, but like I take that before I train, like just the main ingredient there is green tea extract, and it also has like other herbs. It's natural. It has other herbs and shit. It gives me a lot more energy to keep going. You know, just bam, I keep going. But I also drink green tea just because it's a healthy thing to drink. You know, like antioxidants and things of that nature. So I think green tea extract is just good for you. You should be taking it whether you're training or not. It's just good for you. You know, green tea or green tea extract, the antioxidants, you know, they help. I mean, it just helps, man. It helps like your overall health, not just the acquisition of muscle mass, but it just helps. A lot of diseases can be prevented if you make sure you're getting enough micronutrients and things of that nature. Like you might like if you're not getting enough green vegetables, if you're not getting antioxidants, things like that. What can happen is you might not notice an initial bad effect, an initial effect, you know, this seems detrimental, but over time, it's going to lead to dysfunction, you know, like things like cancers or like just things that if you're constantly depriving your cells of these nutrients, the body will still survive, but over time, it's going to hurt itself. Plus, it like makes your skin clear. People ask what I do for my skin. Now I just eat a lot of spinach, drink green tea, and fucking drink a lot of water, you know, so. You know, the more you fail, the closer you are to success. Somebody just wrote that. Somebody asked me, how do you do handstand? I was doing handstand push-ups in the park, freestanding, you know, just in the middle of the fucking field. And someone said, hey, how do you learn to do that? I was like, yo, I failed. I tried it and failed about 1,000 times. If you're not always falling down, and like this is a metaphor for life. If you're not always falling down, hurting yourself, or bleeding, you're not working hard enough. You're not trying hard. You're not even really trying in my book. You're just coasting. What's your height? What's your height and weight? 6'2", about 180. I've been hovering between 185 and 190. You know, I'm closer to 190 right now. What's your most memorable fight? All right. So I was in military school, and I told this kid I needed him to comply with my demands. He was like tall, way taller than me, older than me. He's like, I was looking at him like this, and he said something to me, like he called me a little bitch. I was like, yo, you need to watch how you talk to me, like I will fuck you up. And he said, do it. And it was in front of all these other kids. You know, military school is a hostile environment. It's similar to prison. So if I would, so like really, he called me out in front of all these people. You know, and it just kind of, it was kind of environment where like if you let people think you're a bitch, they're gonna treat you like a bitch. So I know I had to fuck him up, not because I really wanted to fuck him up or had to fuck him up, but I had to set a precedence, you know, for how people are going to respond to me, you know. And so I grabbed him by his collar, smashed him into the wall behind me, like pull him down, bam, smash his face into the wall behind me, and then fucking bang, two-piece with the right, then the left, and the dude just kind of like fell. No, he was like almost falling. I hit him with the right, then I hit him again with the left. Then he was like on his knees, and he just kind of collapsed, and he like passed out. And this is all before breakfast. So he's at breakfast with an ice pack. Eventually they wake him up, and that was the most memorable, man. Like, it's like motherfuckers from high school still remind me of that shit, because that shit was like, I don't know, it was just so epic, you know. But violence is not the way. Violence is not the way. I'm a poet. Like, I would have handled it differently as an adult. Like now, like I wouldn't even got it. I would have circumvented that whole situation as an adult. I would have put him to the side, took his ego out of it. Like, no, listen, bro, this is whatever the issue is. I don't even remember. Like, yo, bro, this is the issue. This is what we need to do. Like, let's talk about this like adults. Like, you know, this doesn't need to get violent. You know, like it's not gonna help anybody. Let's just, you know, I would put him aside, something like that. But I was a kid, and I just, you know, I didn't. That's all I knew. You know, that's all I knew was violence, because I come from Southside Chicago and I grew up around violence, and that's all I knew growing up. How long did you go to military school? All of high school, man. All of high school. About 4 years. T-Rex in the UK, as far as I know, they it's not distributed. It's like some weird's going on with Amazon, and T-Rex, they have exclusive. Amazon has an exclusive distribution, but they're not letting them sell it in other countries. So I don't know what to say about that. I'm not in charge. Dude, I'm 15 and I never do warm up before training. Is that bad or no? I think you would just. I think your training would be better if you did warm up. Like, there's a reason. Like when boxers come out, they're all sweaty already, right? It's not for no reason. It's like they want to get loose, and it makes them a better effective fighter. It makes them better in the ring. And if you're not loose when you hit the weights, you just might not be lifting to your full capability. Also, if the looser you are, the warmer your body are. If you work up like a little bit of a sweat, that's how I like to work up a little bit of a sweat. Not crazy. I just make sure I'm sweating a little bit before I start working out. That means your body's warm, and you're less likely to injure yourself that way. So like, I just think you'd be better off if you did, man. Just did a little warm up. You can jump rope, you can run in place, you can get on the motherfucking elliptical, whatever. Just work up a little bit of a sweat, just a little bit. Now I'm not asking you to sweat profusely, but a little bit of sweat, man. There's a reason fighters are sweating before the fight. It's not, you know what I'm saying? Like, they do it for a reason. All right, let me refresh the page. You know what? It was 40 minutes. I probably answered like 6 questions. I'm gonna try to speed it up. I spend too much time on questions because, you know, like I don't know. I'd rather answer one question well than bullshit a bunch of questions bad. Any YouTube channels you guys like? Do I like besides? I like Strength Camp. I like Strength Project. That's probably my favorite. Yes, like Strength Camp. I like the dude Yo Elliott. That's my man. He's gonna be in New York next month, man. We were talking about hanging out. We were talking on Instagram. Not doing no videos together. Like, you don't expect that. You know, like we're just going to hang out and smoke some cigars. You know, nothing crazy. Who else do I like? You can see who I subscribe to. I like Russell Brand's channel a lot. You know, the Truths. Who else do I like? I like all them like chicks working out in bikinis and shit. I like that. I like CT Flesher, Michael Shad, all them Metroflex guys. They're good. You can just see who I subscribe to. You can see I like Bro Science Life. You can just check my page, see who I'm subscribed to. 15 years old, is it healthy to use T-Rex? I mean, yeah, it's just not. It's just herbs, man. It's like it's really. This shit is just herbs, natural herbs. I mean, you can go to the health food store and just buy. You like one of those organic health food stores and buy all those ingredients, put them in a capsule. It'll be the same thing, just we did it for you. You know? Why'd you stop training in the morning? Also for morning workouts, did you use pre-workout? I don't really use pre-workout, man. I take T-Rex if that's it, or like, you know, or before I did that, I would just drink like black coffee, just like caffeine, just for energy. Like them pre-workouts for me, like they make me feel like I just did a line of coke, you know. And that's not really the effect I'm going for. Like I'm not on my way to a fucking rave. You know, I'm trying to work out. I'm not going to a goddamn disco party. I'm trying to work out. I don't want to feel like I just did some amphetamines. But some people like that feeling, you know. A lot of you guys are tweakers, and you like that feeling. Me, I'm just not into that. I'm just not into that feeling. Maybe I'm just because I'm old, you know. Hey, old man Carter, he can't handle pre-workout. And perhaps you're right. Why did I stop working out in the morning? Because of intermittent fasting. I guess I could. I like intermittent fasting. And I like not working. I work from home now, so I'm more productive in the morning. So that's when I want to get the majority of my work done. My most important tasks for the day, things that are going to help advance my career and my life, I work on those in the morning. That's why. And I found if I tried to do that, if I tried to work out in the morning instead, I would be more sluggish after, and I'd just get less work done. I'm more productive in the mornings, and at night I enjoy working out. So like working out is kind of like a reward for me getting my work done. It's just preference, it's not better or worse. It's just preference. Why'd you start doing exercise? So I can defend myself better. I grew up in a very violent environment, Southside Chicago, and I used to get in a lot of fights, and I wanted to be able to fight better. But the funny thing happened when I started putting on more muscle mass I acquired. The less people fucked with me, so I stopped fighting. Like I don't even get into fights anymore. Even when I try to get into fights now, like I told the story in the last podcast, on the last live stream about this girl. She yelled, "Help! Help! Help! Help!" And I ran over to her from across the street, and this dude was grabbing her. She was holding a baby, and he saw me coming. He backed the fuck up. Dude was bigger than me, but I'm big enough that it was a deterrent. And there's studies to show that. Like there's studies to show that like that's how human beings react differently based on other human beings' size. And it's definitely like that in the animal kingdom. Like if you see birds about to fight each other, they puff their chests up. Or like the rams with the biggest horns and shit, you know, people don't fuck with them as much. It's like it's a psychological thing. Like, you know, like people respond differently to men of different sizes. Statistically, men over 6'2", like I already say, rarely ever get robbed, right? They're just not the easiest targets. So predators look for prey. Lions don't attack other lions. To me, it's the lion in the room philosophy, right? That's what I call the lion in the room philosophy. If you walk into a room and you see a fucking lion, you're gonna be cautious of that lion. Even if the lion's chilling, the lion may be interacting amicably with everyone in the room. It may be a gregarious, happy lion, but you still keep in mind that he's a fucking lion. It's a fucking killing machine, and it will rip your motherfucking head off if you fuck with him. Even if you're another lion, even if you're a bigger, stronger lion, you know that that lion is still a lion, and he's still a killer within his own right. Lions don't eat other lions. I mean, okay, adult male lions kick other male lions out of the pride, but they keep the little ones out, you know? They don't get the big lions out. You know how I'm going to, but predators eat prey. Predators look for prey. So you want to position yourself as a predator. Oh, so what do you do for pre-workout? You guys are so obsessed with pre-workout. Maybe because I started working out in the late 90s and there was like no such thing as pre-workout. So maybe I'm just not as in, you know what I'm saying? People got big before pre-workout existed. I don't want you guys believing that that pre-workout powder is some magical requirement. If it's more marketing than anything, all it is some shit to get you hyped, man. So, like, I used to just drink black coffee before anything. Honestly, just black coffee. I used to work on an empty stomach, black coffee, and I made gains that way. You know, no creatine, nothing. Back in the day, I made gains that way. You guys are just so obsessed with this shit. But it's a new thing. Pre-workout is like a new thing. Like the last 5 to 10 years. There's no such thing as, like, pre-workout supplement. Like, in early 2000s, a decade ago, there was no such thing, but there were still fucking swole ass motherfuckers. Like, you guys are obsessed with it because you guys are. One, it's the new thing. Companies know they can make a lot of money with a pre-workout supplement, and two, it's just I don't know, man. I don't know. You guys are obsessed with this shit. It's new. It's new. Maybe because I'm old, right? And I'm not just starting. I remember when there was no pre-workout. I don't need this shit. You don't need the shit. It may help you. It may help you. It may help you. It may not. Like, I don't like the feeling, so I'm not gonna fuck with it. But like, you might like it, so fuck with it. Who gives a fuck? Who works for you, man? So do my tattoos have meaning, or are they just there? My tattoos don't mean shit. Like, these tattoos don't mean shit. Everybody's like, oh, if I get a tattoo, it's just gotta mean something. It's gotta mean something so deep. Why can't you just like it, right? I told my mom I wanted a tattoo, and she said, oh, I like this one, Brandon. She picked it out. She got it from me when I was 17. That's why it's so small, because I got it when I was 17. And then same thing, like a few years later, hey, I want another tattoo. And she picked this one off the wall. This guy was made. This one, the guy drew it for someone else. It's a dragon, and guy drew it for someone else. The guy never came in to get it. So and then I said, yeah, it'd be a one of one. And then he ripped it up. So no one else has it. But at the same time, it's just like, oh, they have to mean something. It has to mean that. Mine, you know, just some tattoos. I wanted a tattoo. My mom picked out the one, and I got the ones my mom liked. That doesn't really mean shit. You know, it doesn't have to be. Who says it? Why? Who says it has to mean something? It's like, does a piercing have to mean something? What is your facial hair? You know, people say because it's permanent, right? Oh, when I'm 70, I don't want to have something stupid, or I don't want to have to. Yo, people who are 7 years old, they're not like tripping over their fucking tattoos. They have bigger. They're worried about their pacemakers. They're worried about their dentures. They're worried about how this corn is gonna come out their stool. You know, like, they're not worried about the tattoos they had. Live for the moment, man. Who's to say you're even gonna live that long? Right? Who's to say? Don't live your whole life with your 70s involved. I just went off on a tangent. What courses do you need to take to become a personal trainer? Any asshole with $600 can become a personal trainer. Nothing. That's why you see fat trainers. Fat trainers, like, to me, is like a homeless success coach. What makes you a good trainer is like training a lot. You know what it says? It takes 10,000 hours to be an expert at something. Put in the hours. I have well over 10,000 hours of training other people. I've been a certified trainer a nutritionist since I was 19. I worked in some of the top. I worked in a bunch of clubs. I've trained athletes, professional models, blah blah blah. It's just the time, man. Like the time you put in is what's gonna make you a good trainer. $600 makes you a trainer. It's fucking buy the course, take the test. Doesn't matter. Go online, get whatever you want. What makes you a good trainer is the experience that you acquire. So if you want to become a master trainer or a great trainer, start training people as soon as possible and get as many hours as you can under your belt. What do you think about Z's or ZYZZ? I don't really know what the fuck that is. I see his fucking comment all the time. I don't know. Bro, this dude asks about coffee. He drinks coffee. He wants basically he wants to know if coffee's going to affect his growth. No, bruh. No. He said, am I tall? I'm 6'2". He said, how tall was I? I was 16. I don't know. I was young. I don't know how tall I was. I'm taller now. I'm one of the tallest people in my family. Lifting weights. There's no evidence in the history of human existence that suggests that picking things up and putting them down is going to stunt your growth. It just doesn't work like that. All you lifting weights is picking things up and putting them down. It's not going to stunt your growth. There's no evidence to suggest that. In fact, there have been studies on it, and all the studies say that they don't stunt your growth. Now, he also wants to know, is caffeine going to stunt your growth? No. There's no caffeine affects your adrenal gland. The feeling you feel from caffeine, it's your adrenal gland, it's adrenaline. It signals to your it sends a signal to your brain, which in turn sends another signal to your adrenal gland to produce adrenaline. And that's the feeling of energy you feel, right? You can get adrenaline anyway. You know, like if I fucking scare you, you might get adrenaline. You know what I'm saying? If I fucking grab somebody by the neck, they're adrenaline. They're going to secrete adrenaline, you know, from their adrenal gland. But that's not going to stunt their growth, right? Like if that were true, then children who grew up, I don't know, man. Like, no. Short answer is no. There's no evidence to suggest that if somebody told you that, then they're lying. They're either lying to you or they're just misinformed. There's no evidence to suggest that. My sister, flex your bicep. You ain't gotta ask me twice. Flex your biceps. Actually, my triceps, man, you can't really see this webcam. My triceps are getting big, man, because of the fucking handstand push-ups. I just do them every day. My triceps are just reaping the benefits. Magic pills. I talked about magic pills on my other podcast. The last week's podcast, I was talking about magic pills. Yo, what's your advice on making gains while in college? I won't be able to cook meals, and I have to resort to the shitty meals they provide. Got any advice? Much love. Yeah, bro. I was in college, man. Protein shakes was my best friend. Cheapest form of protein you can get, you know, per gram. I used to do gallon of milk a day for one point at college, and that helped me make some gains. And like I was skinny in college, so like I was trying to bulk. So like I basically bulked those like for the most, you know. So like I had a meal plan. I just ate. It's not about how the shit tastes. I don't eat food because it tastes good. I eat food for the nourishment. You want a tasty treat in your mouth? You want a tasty treat in your mouth? It ain't about that. It's about getting food that's gonna accomplish your goals. So I wish you the best of luck, though, man. I honestly do, man. It's college, I miss that shit, son. Yo, Brandon, I work out 4 times a week trying to gain mass. I work 5 days a week doing heavy labor also. Will I put weight on? I eat like a fucking champion. That's how you gonna do it. You're gonna eat like a champion. I worked for a moving company, my boy's moving company when he first started in New York. I was driving the truck. That's some of the hardest labor you're doing. It was like 14 hours a day, and I still lifted before or after work, whichever. And I made gains during that period. So it's just gonna be based on your diet, and but like still do it. Like lifting weights is like where that job's like a 14-hour workout every day. But whatever, man, you do what you gotta do. What's the best way to work on traps? How do you get so big? I don't think I have like huge traps. I don't think I'm like a huge trap guy, and that's deliberate. Like I don't like that look. Guys are. I can tell you're probably in high school or college or really young, because young guys are obsessed with traps. Every time I go to the gym, I see a fucking line at of fucking high school kids doing dumbbell shrugs. It's like the first thing they do when they get in there. It's like, in all my fucking life, I've never like heard some women say, "Damn, look at his traps. Let me give him some pussy." That was the first time that sentence has ever been uttered. Me saying it just now. Like, and plus, like, if your traps get too big, I feel like it takes away from that aesthetic look. I feel like it makes you look kind of it's like a slope, right? It takes away from that wide. It makes your next look slopey, man. I never do any so like my traps aren't like huge. That's deliberate, man. Like I never do any isolation work for traps, man. Like if you ask me what the best thing for trap was, I would say heavy deadlifts. Everybody I know who can deadlift big has big traps. Everybody. And I would go as far as to say, if you really want big traps and you're not deadlifting, then you're not serious about making gains. Like I don't. I'm not a big believer in isolation exercises anyway. I think compound exercises are the best. Should I do strength training and hit cardio to build tone while cutting, or just do hit cardio? I don't like the word toning. I don't know if that really I don't know if that's a real thing. But there's never any reason not to lift weights. So you take a week off. Like you take a week off. I take a week off like been about every 2 months. I take a rest week or a deload week, some people call it. And but I don't think as males, as a male Homo sapien, you should always be doing strength training. It's a big part of who we are. I don't think it's something that's optional. No matter what your goals are, you should be doing strength training. It's a big part of human life. All right, it's just there's so many benefits. I can't even go. I can't. I wouldn't know where to start to tell you. Like, you just never a good reason to not lift weights, except for that rest week. All men should lift weights. I'm going on record saying it. All human males should lift weights, or some sort of resistance training. What's the best way to gain as much lean mass as possible? I mean, you got to lift heavy. You got to eat. You want to gain without gaining fat. I have check my last video. My last video about the full day eating. That's how I'm experimenting with that. I've been making gains, but they've been slower than like my normal bulk. But I'm still cut. Like I've been able to make a maintain a 6-pack the whole time, and it's been pretty awesome. Okay, yo, BBC, I'm 16, 6'2", 170. Hard question to answer. I was bulking the whole winter, gained around 20 pounds. Congratulations. You was a skinny dude. I'm glad you're working on it, bro. And I want to cut for abs, but I'm afraid of losing motivation if I don't see any improvement. I got you. Look, stop being afraid. You gotta try new things. You gotta try shit out. All right. if you gotta just try shit out, man. Like if it doesn't work, if it's not working initially, then you keep trying stuff till you find out what works, man. But like, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of anything, man. Like fuck. Don't be afraid of shit. Like a lot of guys, man, when they leave comments, I can just see a lot of guys like live in a state of perpetual fear. You're horrified of life. You're horrified of failure. Don't be afraid of failure, man. Like you can't circumvent it. There's no way around it. You're gonna fail a lot. Not just in this, but in you're gonna fail. It's part of it. Like expect it. Expect it. If you're not failing, falling down, getting hurt, embarrassing yourself, and bleeding, then you're not trying hard enough. If you're not getting hurt, failing, falling down, embarrassing yourself, and bleeding, then you're not trying hard enough. That goes for everything in life. If you're not failing, falling down, getting hurt, embarrassing yourself, looking like a fucking fool in front of people, and bleeding, then you're not trying hard enough. I would tell you that if you don't fail, you haven't tried hard enough. If your life is not you, what do you think, bro? I love you. I know I sound like I'm being harsh, but I got nothing but love for you. If I didn't give a fuck, I'd be like, yeah, I don't know what to tell you, bro. But like, I'm trying to. You're 17, bro. You do not want to. You do not want to acquire the habit of not doing something because you're afraid. You're at that age where you're about to start making more and more decisions for yourself. You're on your way into adulthood, and you do not want to approach adulthood with that attitude, with that fearful attitude. You do not want to, because then if you build that habit, you're going to be an adult who's just scared all the time. You live in perpetual fear. Fuck that. You have to be courageous. You have to be courageous enough to try something new. You have to be daring. You have to be a risk taker. You have to fail. Right? You have to not see improvement sometimes. You have to try different things. Motherfucking Edison, when he invented the light bulb, he 6,000 tries till he got it. 6,000 fucking tries. You're afraid to try something once. And I'm not trying to shit on you. I love you, bro. That's why I'm so fucking passionate about this. You're afraid to try something once. This motherfucker tried this shit 6,000 times. And you're afraid to try something once. Just think about that. There's a reason. The reason he did that, that's why I'm not in candlelight, right now. Go for it, bro. Always go for it. Always go for it. If you're not falling down, failing, getting hurt, embarrassing yourself, and bleeding, then you're not trying hard enough. Somebody make a meme with me saying that and send it to me. I will post it on Instagram. On Instagram and Facebook, both of which are in the description of this video. David Gutman. What up, Dave? I think I remember you from last week, man. What's up, bro? How can I increase speed? All right. Speed comes from the fast twitch. There's different kind of muscle fibers that you have, And speed comes from fast twitch muscle fibers. And those are the same muscle fibers you use when you lift weights, right? That's why it's explosive movements, But presumably you want to run faster, Hyundai. You can do like plyometric training, where you like box jumps, speed jump. You actually run faster, like do sprints. That helps. Do a lot of squats, power cleans, like work on like the glute muscles, hamstring. Every sprinter has a big ass. You ever watched it? I be watching track, man, just because them chicks be having Fat asses, son. Fat asses. That's them fat. Baby girl got them fast twitch. Got them fast twitch muscle fibers in her gluteus maximus. Yo, work on the glutes. Work on the fast twitch muscles in that gluteus maximus. Yeah, you know, plyometric training. Like I don't want to get into it too much right now, but like Google plyometrics, you learn a lot about it. You know, like plyometric training really helps. Oh man, somebody else had that same question. Just killed that. I fucking crushed that shit. I have reached the point where I need to eat like a bull and make gains. I'm afraid of lose abs. It might happen. I don't know. It might happen. Like I haven't had a lot of detail, but it might happen, and you get them back. It happens, son. It happens. Failure happens. Mistakes happen. If it's not happening, you're not trying hard enough. Not fucking up. You're not trying hard enough. I don't know if that answers your question or not. Silver Wolf knows what I'm talking about. Do you ever do Olympic lifts, snatches, cleans, or others? Nah, I'm not. I don't really do too much of that. And that's only because I don't have access to gyms where we had bumper plates. Like if I had bumper plates, you know, because when you like do them right, like Olympic, they fucking have bumper plates and they throw them joints back on the ground. But I've been working out mostly in commercial gyms, so like I just haven't had a lot of access to that kind of stuff. And I don't really want to do it with those metal weights. I don't want to fuck them up or like be the asshole. How important is water for someone that has a build like water is wildly important. There's a book called damn, I forget the name of it. I read too many books. But basically, it was written by the doctor. If I find it, if I can remember it by before this is over, I'll tell you. But I read a lot of books on fucking water itself. And human beings, like we just need. A lot of times people think they're tired, they're fatigued, but it's really just mild dehydration because your body needs water to run. I drink about 2 gallons of water a day, right? Now it helps with health. A lot of times people think they're tired or they think they're sick, but they're really just dehydrated. A lot of times, a lot of people like when you don't get enough water, your body's gonna do what it has to do to survive, but so it's gonna shut down the non-essential parts, right? So if you're not getting enough water, it's actually gonna make you tired, so you use less energy, and that's your body's way of keeping itself alive. It needs water. It's not getting enough, so it's gonna make you sleepy. You know what I'm saying? If you want to know what excessive dehydration feels like, just if you ever had a hangover, a hangover is nothing but dehydration. It's nothing but dehydration. That's what a hangover is all about. So that's how bad, you know how tired and fucked up and a headache you are. A lot of people have headache. A lot of people who suffer from consistent headaches are really just not drinking enough water. They had more water. I never get headaches. Almost never. I don't remember last time I had a headache. I drink 2 gallons of water a day. I remember having a headache. I almost never get pimples. I don't know. It's wildly important just for your overall health and well-being, right? But aesthetically, if your body's not getting enough water, it's going to start holding water. You won't look as cut. But if you give yourself a ton of water, your body's going to know that it's getting water, so it doesn't have to hold it. It doesn't have to retain that water. You know, so it goes into flushing mode, and all the water retention kind of leaves. Hope that helps. What's the closest you ever been to death? Probably that story I said in the beginning when the car when I had to like stop the guy from crashing into me and it almost crashed into someone else, but I fucking turned again and then the car 360'd on the fucking Long Island Expressway, and then my fucking girl was screaming and hollering. I was calm. I was like, what's that movie, Drive, with the the fucking guy, Ryan Gosling. Have you ever seen the movie? It's a good movie. It's a good movie. But I was calm as fuck. I was like, no, like even better. I was like the fucking transporter. I was like the transporter in that bitch, and I fucking got us. I made evasive action, and I got us to safety. I don't know. I've had guns drawn on me a few times, but you know, most motherfuckers who draw a gun on you ain't really ready to murder you. So I don't know if I really came that close. I know there's been other times. Yeah, I guess those times, like you know, like guns getting drawn on me, or like that one car accident, potential car accident. If I ever die, I think it's gonna be natural causes though. Bishop Eric says, I got a couple of questions. Yo, don't ask questions about asking questions. You just squandered opportunity, man. I don't even see all these questions. What advice would you give a 20-year-old that aspires to put fitness equipment on the market? I've never done that. I don't know if I'm the best person to answer that question, man. Like, I've never manufactured my own equipment. But honestly, that's why I was like, when the point where I was trying to learn Chinese, I quit though. Like, it's okay to quit sometimes. Like it's you know, like people say you should never quit. Nah, man. If you find something, if you find out something is, you find sometimes you don't know how much effort it takes to do something. If you find out that something is more effort than if the juice is not worth to squeeze, then it's okay to just be like, yo, I'm cool, man. I'd rather my energy might be better spent somewhere else. So anyway, I was going to learn Chinese for that reason. I had a few ideas, man. I wanted to politic with them about, but I didn't want nobody ripping me off behind my back. I know they would do that shit, man. Cause like motherfuckers who don't know I speak Spanish, I've heard them fucking plotting on me behind my back or talking shit, talking about I'm like, oh word, but I didn't let them know I spoke Spanish, so I could eavesdrop, So I would imagine that when I went over to Beijing, they'd be on the same shit. So anyway, to answer your question, read some books, man. Read a lot of books on it. And there's books on it. You can figure it out. You gotta read. I'm not the best person to ask. How can I bulk and not lose abs while fasting? Presumably you mean intermittent fasting. I have a video on my last full day eating video. You'll see what I'm doing. That's the same thing. I'm doing intermittent fasting and bulking and carb cycling. So you should check that out. I mean, you still want to get your normal calories, but you want to get most of the calories post workout, and you don't want to get any carbs until post workout because you don't want to spike your insulin. You only want to spike your insulin after weight training because that's the only time. Because insulin is anabolic, but it's indiscriminately anabolic, meaning it will make your muscle cells grow, but it'll make your fat cells grow as well. Like so, you want to spike insulin levels when you need it, which is post workout. I basically don't eat any protein. Any carbohydrates until after workout. I'm on no carb all day. I haven't worked out today. I haven't eaten a carb all day. I'm going to eat carbs only post workout, and that takes getting used to. Like your body's gonna have to acclimate itself to those circumstances. What happens is your body and your brain learns to run off of excess fat as opposed to glycogen, and it's an adjustment process. Your body has to acclimate itself to that. It's gonna take about 2 to 3 weeks for that shit to happen. Yo, 2BC, Bigger, Stronger, Leaner. Your thoughts on this book? I ain't never read that book. When I go to check the reviews on my book, I see that some people have bought both books, like that book and my book on Amazon. I never read it, so I can't give it a fair assessment. I hope it's good. I hope it's good. I like that people put out good information and expand the knowledge base of everyone. I think it makes us all better. I hope it's good. uh, how did you deal with gangs and shit that growing up? I'm gonna just assume you typed that real fast, Tim. Um, Man, initially I dealt with it by getting my ass whipped, getting robbed. I didn't deal with it too good, And then my parents sent me to military school because the environment was just getting too hectic, man. Like people think Chicago's bad now. Southside Chicago's bad now with all the murders. I know, like last weekend there was like 30 people. The other week there was like 30 people killed in the weekend, 30 murders, homicides, all on the South Side where I'm from. And but it was worse in the '90s, man. It was worse in the fucking '90s. And my parents sent me to military school, trying to circumvent that shit, like trying to keep me away from it. And that's kind of how I dealt with it. I ran like a little. My parents made me run away like a little hoe. So but I noticed like when I came back, when I would come back for the summers, right? So I would still spend summers in the South Side of Chicago, and summers is the killing season. Ain't that many murders in the winter. It's the summertime when the guns go off, and it's just I don't know, man. It's hard. It's difficult. Like I feel like sad for like I went back home recently. I just feel sad for like kids growing up in that environment. Like my nephew's still there, and he was like he was trying to go somewhere. He's like, yeah, I want to go, but I just can't take the bus because of the gangs and shit. And that just made me sad, like, because I know I got free reign. I'll go anywhere in New York, like public transportation. I sold my car when I moved to New York because I kept getting parking tickets, and the public transportation system was so sophisticated. It's just easy, right? But now I Uber a lot. I do a lot of Ubering. It's like a personal driver. I got money now, so I can Uber. But like he couldn't even fucking take the bus, man. And it just kind of made me sad. Like it's difficult to grow up in that environment. Like it's a certain hopelessness that permeates like the streets. Like you can just see that there's a lack of ambition, and you can sense that from the children there. The kids in high school, they don't think about it. I don't know, man. It just makes it's just sad. It's like it's a certain hopelessness I can't explain. So like the best thing about military school is like my roommate was like. I met a lot of rich kids because I was there on some affirmative action shit, but there was like a lot of like rich kids there, and I would go to their houses. Like there was kids who had fucking horses, a stable full of horses. One of my homies, his dad owned strip clubs in Vegas. I went to Vegas, like just I don't know, meet. It made me more ambitious, I think. Aside from just like flipping weight, like I had ambitions aside from that. And what you notice in that kind of environment, Tim, it's like lack of ambition, and it's very difficult. Presumably, you're asking because you live in that kind of environment. I just want you to know, man, you can make it, son. You can make it. You just gotta. What helped me was like, because if I didn't go to college, I don't know what would have happened. So like, if you're in high school, like get grades enough to go, good enough to go to college. I was able to go to a good school. And then I just didn't go back to Chicago after school, man. I was like, fuck this shit. I want to get into a better environment, I don't know, man. Yeah, I kind of went on about that. I got a little emotional right there. Sorry, man. Sorry, I'm fucking up the podcast. All right. Mr. Carter with 17 exclamation points. Which would you prefer? Training clients in a commercial gymnasium or being self-employed and training clients outdoors with your own gym equipment? All right, I wouldn't do it out if I wouldn't train clients outdoors on my own gym equipment because you're dependent on the weather, right? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So like I would like try to take the weather out of the equation. Especially in New York, right? Especially if I live in the mid-Atlantic region, I would only be able to do it half the year. But training in a gym is a good experience when you're first starting out. I think it's good to train people in the gym. I really think that's how all trainers should start off because it gives you they'll get you clients. You don't have to worry about building a base. They will get you clients or there'll be clients right there where you can get, like they'll teach you how to like prospect clients in the gym. But after a while, you'll notice it's kind of like a pimp hoe business model. It's like they pimping you, all right? The club is the pimp. You the little hoe, and you got to go out, and the customers are like the John. You got to go out and get these tricks, man. You got to go out on the track. The gym is the track. You got to go on the track, shake your ass, and get daddy his money. And once you build up a certain network, a certain reputation, or and you got experience, then you want to start training people on your own. And you don't have to do it outside with your own equipment. Like, you don't have to do it like that. Like, I've trained people in my crib. I train people in their own house. I train people in their, there's a lot of rich people in New York, man. People have they have gyms in their apartment buildings or gyms in their home. You can train people anywhere. You can train people anywhere. It doesn't have to be an apartment, basically. It doesn't have to be outdoors. I mean, it can be, but it's not a requisite. So, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So when you do that, you'll start making more money, and you can charge the client less and make more money. And the reason you can do that is because you cutting out the middleman in the gym, right? You can do that. Like I had gym memberships to a bunch of different gyms, and I would just train clients at different gyms. You have to work out with them when you do that because it's not allowed to train people in the gym, right? They'll get pissed at you, or whatever. But if you're training with them, it's like just having it. You can just play it off like I have a gym partner. But you was at this, you're at this place every day with a different gym partner. Hey man, I got a lot of gym partners. People like working out with me in pocket. You can do that at any gym, So, but yeah, man, you want to get into that. You want to get to that point. Someone asked, have you ever used testosterone, bro? Nah, man, I never used no shit like that. It's just, I don't think it's necessary. Like, I don't think it's necessary unless you want to like be a pro bodybuilder or like you want to do powerlifting at the high levels or something like that. Like, if you just want to be a fit guy, it's not necessary. It's just not. If you wanted to, I don't know, man. Like, because do you really want to be that big? Do you really want to be that big? Like, I don't think it's gonna get you more women. Right? I don't think women are that. Some women are, but I don't think the majority are. I think if you turn yourself into a monster, then it's like now you place limitations on yourself. Like you turn yourself into a niche market. You have more mass appeal as a thinner, muscular guy. I don't know. Like, yeah, I don't understand why you would want to be that big. Right? Like, why do you want to be that big? Like, you're not gonna, unless you're gonna fight Batman or you want to look like an X-Men. You just don't need it. It's not necessary. I don't know. I don't really know. Aside from professional bodybuilding or powerlifting, I don't know how that's gonna help you in your life. Top 5 book recommendations. I love to read, man. I love to read. All right. Go number 1, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Classic. All right, classic. How to Win Friends and Influence People. All right, Dale Carnegie. That is one of that book, man. I think they should teach classes on it in high school. And kids should not be able to fucking move on to the next phase of life until they master the material in that book. If everybody mastered that material, everybody on Earth, the world would run so much smoother. You know what I'm saying? Like the world would just, the planet would run so much smoother, But fuck it. If you need to read that book, because it's gonna make you a better person and it's gonna help you navigate through this terrain of life with a lot more ease than you are now, right? If you just don't know the information in that book, things are not gonna be as easy as they can be. Power of Positive Thinking, Norman Vincent Peale, man. That's fucking classic. Those 3 books. I knew this guy was doing a business. I was working on some like business shit a while ago. This is years ago with this guy. He was like a billionaire, like not a billionaire, but he's a multi-millionaire. He had a fucking American Express black card, all that shit. And we were just talking about books. He was an avid reader as well. And he said those were the fucking top 3 books you need to read. If you only read those 3 books, you'd be straight. Those are the 3. So they're always on my list. After he told me that, and I had already read them at that point, but he kind of just corroborated everything I thought, all my assumptions I had up until that point. I also say Awaken the Giant Within, man, Tony Robbins. I know that Tony Robbins shit sounds like some fruity shit, but that book changed me, man. That book changed. What the fuck? That book changed me as a person. That started my whole journey into like becoming an avid reader and trying to read a book every week. Like that was it. Those of you see my library in my room, that shit is extensive. I got the Kindle Fire. I actually like. I read that you don't. I read a study of people read slower on like most tablets, except for the Kindle Paperwhite. So I recently bought that. I'll be here tomorrow. Plus, I just wanted a dedicated reading device. I read so often. So wait a minute. All right. So like in the fifth book, I would just say Rich Dad Poor Dad. Like finance is important. Like finance is important. Economics, personal economics is important. Like so, Rich Dad Poor Dad would definitely help you think about look at your personal finances from a different perspective. And that's important. Good question, bro. I mean, books, man. Books. Any success that I've had up until this point, or who I am as a person, it's because of the books I read. Like almost exclusively. I mean, experience counts for a lot too, but books help change your perspective. So like when you encounter that experience, you can handle it a lot better. Yo, BBC Frank Zane said he does not believe in bulking up. What's your take on that? I mean, I don't believe in the traditional bulking up. Like I have a book on. I have a video on dirty bulk. Like when people get fat, I don't believe you should get fat. I mean, like as soon as I feel like my abs are not as visible as I like, I start cutting again. So I don't do that kind of bulk. I presumably that's what Frank meant, and that's why Frank is still lean. Like when a lot of old bodybuilders are kind of fat right now, right? Even when they stop working out, like they're not in the best shape. Like look at Arnold. Look at like right now. Look at all the guys from that era. Frank Zane is the only one who's still in good shape. Something to be said about like taking it slow, instead of trying to rush it. Somebody asked, what do I think of 50 Cent's physique? I never thought about. I mean, I guess he's slow sometimes, 50's my man, though. Yo, Brandon, I live in Chicago. I lived in Chicago as a kid, Cottage Grove and 91st. What up? What up? I live right over by Cottage Grove, man. You know what I'm saying? But I live sort of like a 48th. You know what I'm saying? 47. I live like 47th Street. You know what I'm saying? That's like I was over there. 48th is like the smallest street, so I always say 47. So you know what I'm talking about. But went to business school. No, Burnside School. All right, what up? I went to I lived over by Kenwood. Chicago, not the best memory, sad to say. Yeah, man. Spent a couple years at HU, man. Oh, 82 to 84. Oh, shit. Oh, damn, son, you way older than me. I was born in 82. But that's what's up, man. Yo, Howard University. What's good? Yo, man. That's what's up, man. Where you at now, son? If you're trying to bulk up, do you think it's necessary to eat 6 to 8 meals a day? No, I think it is necessary to be in caloric surplus, though, and I think you need to get. I also think you need to get about a pound in it. Multiply your body weight in pounds. I don't know where you're from, so like let's say in pounds, and multiply that by 1.5, and that's how much protein you should be getting a day if you're going to count your macros. Nah, man. I'm not gonna talk. I'm not gonna talk about that shit, David. David Gutman. I'm not gonna talk about that shit. Here's the thing. I don't talk about politics and I don't talk about religion, right? Because people are so emotionally invested in those things. They can't handle hearing somebody have a different viewpoint than them without it affecting them emotionally. Like what I say right now shouldn't affect you emotionally. Like people say stuff on TV that I disagree with. but I don't let them affect my emotions. Like I feel how I want to feel. But I know if I said something politically, either side of that, somebody who's on the other side of whatever I said, whatever position I took, would get offended, vehemently offended. And out of compassion for their inability to control their own emotions, I am not going to talk about politics. And the same thing for religion. You know, like I know, like no matter what I say about religion, people are so emotionally attached to that, you know, and I understand. I understand why. Me, I was not indoctrinated into a religion as a child. Like, my parents were Christians, but they didn't like take me to church or all that. We went to church on Easter, and Mr. T's from Chicago. He used to be at church. Mr. T did at church. So like, how seriously was I going to take church? Because every time I went, Mr. T was there. Like, he only went on Easter too, you know. I don't know, man. Something happened downstairs. Yeah, so like, just never got into it. Like, and like, you kind of have to be. Like, just think about it, man. To believe any of that shit, you kind of have to be indoctrinated as a child. And I just wasn't, so I don't share the same beliefs. But I respect everybody's. Right to believe whatever they want, you know. But I'm not going to talk. I'm not going to share my views on that because I know that most people aren't emotionally stable enough to hear somebody voice a viewpoint that's different than theirs, you know. So out of compassion for their inadequacies, I won't talk about it, you know. And the same thing for politics, religion. Like, I just know those subjects are so touchy. They shouldn't be. We all should. We're all adults. We should be able to hear someone's opposing viewpoint and listen to it logically without it affecting our emotions, you know. But I just know that most people aren't capable of that. So and plus, what I say is not going to affect anything either way. So I'm just like, there's no point. All I would do is alienate a portion of my base or upset someone, and it's not my goal to do either or. Yo, greetings from England. What up? I love England, man. I love London. I love it over there. They love black guys in England, man. That's what I found out. Like, African Americans, you know, they love us out there, man. I think all black men should make a pilgrimage to England at some point in their lives. But anyway, current training split. I don't like splits. I like full body workouts, man. Pick one or two exercises for each body part, and just fucking do a full body workout, man. Do this shit 3 to 4 times a week. That's when I started noticing like a lot more gains. And then I obviously researched on that. Before the steroid era of bodybuilding, that's what all the pros did. Like, also all the bodybuilders did before the steroid, guys like Reg Park, shit like that. Like, Google Reg Park, man, that dude was a beast. Full body workouts all the time, consistently. And it's the steroid era, people started changing things up, doing splits, and things got weird. Like, but for a natural guy, man, just for a regular guy, I honestly think that full body workouts, one or two workouts for each body part, no isolation movements. You know what I'm saying? They're ineffective. Just all compound movements, man. Go in. I honestly think that's the best. You ever got acne, bulking in the past? I had acne. I struggled with it when I was younger, but I don't know if it was from bulking. I just think it's because, you know, the kids just get it, you know. But your skin is an organ. That's what a lot of people. Your skin is actually an organ. It's the largest organ that you have. It's living, breathing tissue, you know. So like, if it's fucking up, you should go see somebody about it. You should see a doctor. Like, you shouldn't just accept acne. You shouldn't try to get over-the-counter pills. You should go see somebody, man. See a professional. Like, see a dermatologist. Like, if you have acne, that's what I did. Like, when I was younger, like, I saw a dermatologist. I saw help. I got help with it. Like, it's an organ. Like, if your heart is fucking up, you're not going to just fucking buy some shit you see on a commercial. If your heart is fucking up, you're going to go to a cardiologist. You know? Your skin is an organ. It needs to be treated with the same serosity as you treat other organs. Sorry, guys, I'm just trying to find another question. Yo, great job. I'm carb backloading like you. I train 3 times a week, full body to failure. I run track and field 2 times a week. How many times should I carb backloading? I mean, you should. Greetings from France. What up, man? Goddamn Euro connection on this bitch. I mean, yeah, you should. I mean, you should only do eat carb. Depending on what your event is in track. If you're doing sprinting, that's kind of like resistance training. So I would eat carbs after that, and after any kind of resistance training, I would eat carbs. You know, like that's when you want it. You want to spike your insulin levels, then keep your insulin levels low during the day, during the day, and just only after. If your insulin levels are spiked, you will not be burning fat. Your body's gonna be burning glycogen. You're not gonna burn. Your body is not gonna use its fat reserves as energy. But if you keep your insulin low, keep your insulin levels low, your body would use your fat reserves as energy. But when you spike it, it starts using glycogen. You want to train your body. And that's why when people go on low carb diet, that's why low carb diets work. And when people go on low carb diets, they say, oh, I don't have any energy, or I get headaches, or I don't feel good. But that's because your body is trying, your body has to get used, your body, most importantly your brain, because your brain uses a lot of glycogen, has to get used to running off fat reserves as opposed to glycogen. You have to wean it off, and it's going through withdrawal. These are actually like withdrawal symptoms, you know. But it goes away after a few weeks as long as the person sticks to it, you know. And your brain only cares about your survival. I said this at the beginning. Your brain does not care about your success. It does not care about your motherfucking goals. All it cares about is survival. So like when you're doing low carbs or something, your brain is gonna be like, yo, I need glycogen, bro. I need glycogen. Stop fucking around. Stop. I need glycogen. It's gonna send you every signal in the world to tell you that you need glycogen, you know. But fuck what he talking about, man. Fuck what your brain talking about. You're in charge. You are not your brain. You are not your body. You are in charge of yourself. Your brain is not concerned. Your brain is only concerned with your body's survival. It's not. It doesn't care about your goals. All right. It doesn't care about your life goals. It doesn't care about what you're trying to accomplish. You know, all it cares about is the survival of the physical form. Where do you get your books from? You know to get the books cheap. Mostly Amazon. Amazon is where I find the books are the cheapest. You know, I don't go to the library. Buy books. I mean, you don't rent books. You rent movies. You rent movies because you're never gonna fucking watch that shit again. I fucking buy books, man. I'm gonna go over that shit again. I'm gonna make notes in it. You know, like, yeah. Amazon, Kindle. If you get a Kindle, or even if you have a smartphone, any smartphone, I have the Galaxy S4, and you can get the Amazon Kindle app. I've read books on this shit. You know, if you have a tablet, you can get the Kindle app. That's why I put my book on Kindle. People say, hey, put it on iBooks, or put it on Nook, or put it on this other format. I'm like, no, I'm using Kindle format because it's the most. You can use it on any device, you know, or even a computer. You can get the computer app. So like, there's no excuse not to buy Kindle, like to buy books. Like you can put the Kindle app for a PC or Mac and just read the book on your computer if you're fucking cheap, you know, or any. All of us have smartphones, so like the Kindle app is free. No excuse. No excuse not to be reading. You're just not taking life seriously, you know. Why do we say pause in your videos? Pause, you know, that's like just some urban colloquial slang. Like anytime you say anything that can be taken sexually, say pause. You know, it's kind of like the that's what she said for black people. You know, like so when I'm in the boot camp, I was like, all right, move your head from side to side, then move your head now, move your head up and down, pause, and it's just like, you know, funny. I don't know, like because like before you weren't thinking about giving head until I said pause, and it just made me laugh. I just say it to make me laugh. You know? Or like the girl, she got on, we were doing explosive push-ups, and I was like, all right, now she's gonna get on her knees and clap. He's gonna do regular push-up clap. She's gonna get on her knees and clap. She's gonna get on her knees and make it clap. Balls. Or like a lot of people say, like when something sound, you know, just whatever, man. You know, the inside joke between it's the inside joke between me and the streets. Is what I'm trying to say. What do you think about Chris Jones' physique of greatness? I don't think about it. Yo, BBC, thanks for another great streaming Q&A session. Thanks, bro. I was so amazed. It's only 1 hour and 40 here. Oh, it's 1:40 here in Israel. Damn. Next, you going to say, your role model? Thanks, bro. Get some sleep, man. I know it's kind of hectic. I wish we could just find peace over there in your region of the world. I wish it could just be peace. I'm not taking any side either way. I'm on the side of peace. I'm on the side of humanity. I wish we could find peace, man. I wish we could find peace in your region, man. Good luck, man. Sleep tight. Advice on increasing agility as a point guard. Plyometric moves, yeah, it's Google plyometrics. That's going to help you a lot. You know, if you're a point guard, you're probably around my height, 6'2", maybe more, maybe less, or you know, around there. Yeah, so you want to be able to jump high. You know, jump higher, move faster. You got to have speed. Yeah, man, that's it. I mean, I'm not the best to ask about that in general, but plyometrics, that's easy. Somebody says you're awesome, Josh. Thanks, Josh. Best remedy for wrist pain. Depends on the severity of the pain, right? Like my foot was hurting really bad. I went and got an X-ray, so you want to see what it is. I know some guys, like a lot of the calisthenics guys, I know they use wrist straps, or like some guys I know lift weights with wrist straps. I don't use any kind of apparatuses when I work out. You know, no gloves, no wrist straps, no fucking straps for deadlifts, no fucking. The only thing I use is chalk, you know, or liquid chalk. Liquid chalk is dope. And if I'm doing street workout, I'm outside, I just use dirt. I just put dirt on my hands. Grind, let's go. Oh, but I didn't answer your question. I don't know. Maybe ice it. If it's real severe, you might want to see somebody about it. You know, honestly, you might want to see somebody about it. I'm not qualified to give medical advice. From your experience, what you observe, if you're consistent and you have your training, your diet down pat, how much progress can you honestly see in 6 months? I think you can I think this is how much progress you can make. I think if somebody saw you in the beginning, if you were consistent, I mean you did everything right for 6 months, not fucking up, just staying on the path. You're only looking a little bit better each day. And if you squeeze as much fucking life out of each day as you can, if somebody saw you in the beginning of 6 months and didn't see you to the end, they would think you were a different person, like a totally different person. And it also depends on how long you've been training. There's a variety of factors. You know, your genetic if you have a genetic predisposition to build a muscle, you know, things like that. You know, so that plays a role. But 6 months, you should be able to make a lot of progress. 6 months is a lot of time. 6 months, you should be able to make a lot of progress in any endeavor if you're consistent. Like you should be able to go from never touching a guitar to being pretty fucking good at 6 months if you're consistent. You should be able to learn Spanish in that amount of time. I mean, like, if you're consistent at anything for that amount of time, you should see dramatic changes. Not even 6 months, though. 3 months. Like, if you're consistent at anything for 3 months, you should see, like, physical changes. Everybody around you should know it. If you do it for 6 months, everybody around you should know that you should be able to see you made, like, serious changes. I mean, don't expect to be fucking Schwarzenegger. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you're going to be fucking Arnold in his prime in 6 months, but all I'm saying, you should be able to make it. Should be noticeable. AKEA Entertainment, I don't know what that means, bro. Yo, Brandon, how do you sleep so deeply for 10 hours? Because I can't get into deep sleep. I know it's important for building mass. Um, I sleep around 8 to 9 hours a night. Take melatonin. I've been taking ZMA. That's been helping a lot. I've noticed an improvement in my quality of sleep. If you go to highlightworkout.com, I have a fucking section of the supplements I take, and it's all in there. You can see what it is. The other thing though, like a lot of people when they can't sleep, it's I make my room real dark. I have blackout curtains, like it's fucking pitch black. I take my sleep fucking seriously, so I cover up every light in the room. I cover up the cable box. I cover up the light on the air conditioner. I cover up the light on the modems. I cover up the light on. There's no light. It's like I make it pitch fucking black in this room, and I keep the air conditioner on up so it's cold, like it, like it's pretty cold in the room. Because the studies show that people sleep better in the cold, and the people in the light, without light, the darker the room is, the better you're gonna sleep. All right, and then I also meditate twice a day, so I'm like, I might not be as fucking wound up as you. I might just be like, fucking calmer than you and shit, And that's not a diss to you, you know what I'm saying? Like, unless you meditate as much as me, you're just probably not as calm as me. I mean, I probably come off as excited guy, but like I'm not stressed out, like I'm energetic, but I'm never stressed out, and that comes from meditation. So like stress is the easy way to like fuck up your sleep patterns. Anyway, so that helps. Those things. Make your room dark as fuck, make it cold, take melatonin, take ZMA, and calm the fuck down, bro. Calm the fuck down. Restless sleep, it comes from stress for the most part, but all the other stuff will help. Sleep is wildly important. Not just in making gains, but it definitely helps in making gains. And fat loss. Like your body, if you're not getting enough sleep, your body will actually like I said, your body's gonna do whatever it has to do to stay alive. So if you're not giving adequate rest, then what your body's gonna do is gonna shut down your metabolism and just slow things down. So it's not expending enough energy. That's a mechanism for it to save energy. It's gonna slow your metabolism down. So like that's not what you want if you're trying to burn fat, Or even like making gains, your testosterone levels will drop. People say, oh man, such and such sleeps 5 hours a day. 50 Cent sleeps 4 hours a day. I think a lot of those claims are, people just like to say shit like that. And even if it's true, like, look, sleep is wildly important for like your hormone levels. Like actually your testosterone levels drop and your stress levels increase. And all that is bad for the acquisition of muscle. That's detrimental if you're concerned with acquiring muscle mass. So, or building fat, burning fat. Also, but even what's more important is that like if you're not getting enough sleep, your the other one, serotonin and dopamine levels start to drop. So it actually makes you less happy. You hear what I'm saying? Like it affects your emotion. Like your serotonin and dopamine, those are like the happy. Like when you get high, you smoke weed, your body rushes your mind. It's the THC sends a signal to your mind to release a lot of dopamine and serotonin, and that's what that euphoric feeling is, right? Basically, it's all serotonin and dopamine, right? That's for the most part. You make that naturally, but if you don't get enough sleep, you won't make that naturally. If you're not getting enough adequate sleep and rest, you're not going to be as happy as you can be, and I think that's more important than acquiring muscle mass or burning fat. Brandon, I love your work. I'm out of UK. What up, UK? How do I get a hold of T-Rex, man? I don't know. I am not in charge of distribution. I know they have T-Rex is exclusively distributed through Amazon.com, and they're only doing it in America for right now, man. So I don't know I don't know what to say about that. How many hours did you sleep in college? I don't know, man. I probably didn't take life as seriously in college, so like it wouldn't give you a fair assessment of anything. I wasn't fucking serious about anything in college. Just curious. How did your dating life change before and after results? Do you have any cool stories about how women treat you differently as opposed to before? Listen, when it comes to you know sexuality and athletic, it's just there's no way to get around that, man. Like women are more attracted to a guy who's more athletic, who has more athletic look. And it's the same. It's this biological thing. They can't circumvent that. Like it's the same reason we're attracted to women to big titties. It's a biological thing. Like it's about child rearing. They're not gonna be able to get around that. And I'm not saying that they'll just fall over you, but it helps and it definitely has its advantages. You get to a certain point though, it becomes like a disadvantage. Like women become more intimidated by you, when they feel insecure around you if they're not in like great shape. Honestly, like that's a real thing. So, but I don't know. I don't know who's gonna be watching this, so I can't tell you too many cool stories right now, man. I mean, I got them. I got fucking dope stories, but I don't know who's gonna be watching this shit. So I'll plead the fifth. Greetings from Australia. What up? What up, mate? Cheers. No, that's England. I don't know, man. Y'all sound the same to me, man. But I love all of y'all. Yo, first Q&A. Nice job, man. That's what's up. Oh, that's an acronym for your record label, this guy says. You go over here spamming my fucking Q&A with your record label? Hey, everybody. AKCA Entertainment. He wants a shout out. It's his record label. I don't know. I hope that helps. I don't know if that's going to do you any good, but, that's what's up. I mean, good luck with your record label, bro. What's the name? Oh, this guy says, thanks for the reply, B. Hey, no problem, man. I see you all the time. You ever watch low budget get lean muscle? He's in the full body workouts like you. No, that's the first time I heard of that. I don't watch like YouTube. I'm not out here like searching YouTube for like fitness advice. That's why you guys know more about the YouTube fitness. You guys know about YouTube fitness personalities more than me. Honestly, you guys know more about that shit than me. Like even the guys I subscribe to, I don't really watch too many of their videos, except for like Strength Camp because they're doing cool shit, or like the Bar Stars. I watch some of Elliot's every once in a while. I watch Cali Muscle shit just because he's funny, but like I'm not searching the internet for advice. I honestly don't think the internet is the best way to get. I don't think YouTube is the best. I don't think guys like me are the best way to get advice. Like I got the advice. I like the stuff I know, the stuff I learned from reading a ton of material about it, but also experiencing it. Like I've trained so many people. Like that's how I got the experience, the advice. Like I think you guys should watch. You should definitely watch everybody's shit, but you should also read a lot of books on like subject or any subject that you want to excel at. You should do a lot of reading on it. And don't get all your advice from fucking douchebags like me on the internet, man. At the end of the day, we're just making fucking homemade videos and posting them online. Anybody with a camera and a computer can do this shit. Like don't get all your advice from us. Real talk. Don't fucking get all your advice from us. It's more important that you like do some reading. I mean, then again, anybody can write a book, right? I wrote a book, but at least that shit is, I don't know, man. You want to see what works. It's gonna take experience. You're gonna don't get all your advice from guys like this, man. Read. I mean, reading is the most important thing you can do. Best bodybuilding book you can read. Best bodybuilding book you can read is the Encyclopedia of Modern Bodybuilding by Arnold Schwarzenegger. Best calisthenics book you can read is Overcoming Gravity by Steve Lowe. The best. Another good book is Huge in a Hurry by Chad Westbury. The guy who's like my mentor, growing up was this guy named Bill Phillips. He has a book called Body for Life. He was also, keep that in mind, if you do read it, he was also the CEO and founder of ES Sports Nutrition. So he's trying to sell ES supplements throughout the whole book. That's not necessary, but There's a lot of good advice in there. It's an old book though. It's old school. So I mean, you don't have to read it. I read that shit in the 90s. Actually, man, You on a Diet by Dr. Oz is a really good book. I mean, there's a lot of this. Yo, read, man, read. 4 Hour Body by the homie Tim Ferriss. That's my dog. All right, we've been doing this shit for 2 fucking hours. I got other shit to do with my life, so I'm just gonna fucking rapid fire off a few questions real quick. Are you gonna get more tattoos? Yeah, I'm gonna get some more tattoos probably this summer. What's the ideal rep range for full body training for gaining mass? 6 to 8 reps, in my opinion. 6 to 8 reps, 4 sets, 90 seconds between each set. That's important. Don't forget that. What kind of workout should I do? What kind of diet should I get in order to put on the maximum? I can't answer that question this amount of time. Yo, Brandon, I learned a lot from what you were talking about. Yo, that's what's up, man. Top 5 favorite rappers. All right. Tupac is the greatest rapper of all time, in my opinion. Eminem is the best, like as far as technical skill and putting words together and flows and pattern. He's the best. Jay-Z is my favorite though. Like I'd rather listen to Jay-Z. That's like motivational. Jay-Z's like the hip hop Tony Robbins, man. I feel like he's talking to me, and we just like our without incriminating myself too much. We have similar backgrounds. You know, we have a lot in common. But I don't know. I also like T.I. T.I. is one of my favorites. White girl stopped me, said I look like T.I. to get a compliment. Maybe if but I responded. I said, yeah, maybe if T.I. Get the weights wrong, he'd look like me. I'll just say Common. I don't know if he's really on the list, but he's from my neighborhood, so I gotta give him a shout out. No, you know what? Kanye West. I'm gonna say Kanye West. He's from the shop, so that's top 5. That's a solid top 5. That's a solid top 5. All right, man. That's a good place to end it, man. 2 hours. I wish I could do more. Yo, anybody who's watching this, no boot camp next week. I'll be doing the free summer boot camps in Astoria Park, Queens. There's no boot camp for the next 2 weeks because I got to go to 2 weddings. My man O.D. Ryan from the group Some for the Pain, he's getting married, so that's cool. Yeah, man. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a fucking good day. I love all of y'all, man. Peace and love. Listen, man. It's about don't try to exert your power over other people. Try to love others, try to lift people up, try to help them, man. More people, that's how happy, successful people behave. They don't try to hurt other people. They don't try to demean other people. They don't try to put other people down. They try to bring them up and help them. Literally, like people who are unhappy, all sociopaths are unhappy about something. They have issues. People who are leaving comments, shitting on each other, they got fucking issues. They have problems. And you have compassion for them people. Don't attack them back. Don't come back when they're like, they got issues, they need help, man. We all have our issues, and they manifest themselves in a variety of different ways. So, have compassion for the haters and the bitch-ass niggas, because they're doing. We're all doing the best we can at the end of the day, man. You just got to do the best you can. Try to help others do the best they can. If we all did that, this world would be better, all right? Have a good day. I was like an Oscar. I was like I just accepted an Oscar. Anyway.